All right, so about to leave to go to the doctor, but wanted to cover a topic because um, someone asked how come we don't put the kids on in a lot of videos, right? And then I got another person who I just deleted their response because I'm like, the kids were in the background, I think. I can't remember the video. This It was fairly recent. And I may have said, the kids you're going to hear them be loud or whatever the case may be. And they said, a tip, why not include your kids in the video? And they start mentioning a bunch of other YouTubers who do. And my response would be to the first person that asked, how come we don't? There's many reasons why. But let me first get to the other person. I don't care what other YouTubers do. That's their business. They can do as they choose to. I'm not saying that they do, but my kids are not the focus of a channel. I don't survive off of this channel. If I did, I'd be under a bridge in a box because that's just how it is. But I don't need to do that. I don't have to do that. So if I got rid of this channel tomorrow, it's not gonna make a difference in my life one way or the other. Whether anybody watches it or don't, it doesn't really matter. And just like your tip is not important, doesn't matter, right? Because that's not what this channel is about. This channel is for my kids. And one of the reasons why I did YouTube, and I mentioned this many a times, is because, and with my mom recently passed, I want them to be able to have videos of us that they can go back and look at whatever they want, whenever they want, and they can just watch it. That this is and it could be about anything, but I do a lot of videos that talk about stuff that's going on today here in Tacoma, or just what have you, life events. And it's kind of like a little history catalog for them. So other people like it. I mean, I guess you guys like it. So that is just kind of an added bonus to it. But the main people that I'm doing this channel for is for my kids, period. And so that's the reason why we don't focus on, being a Blasian family, because there's much more to us than just being a Blasian family. You know what I mean? Like that's not an accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like to me, an accomplishment is graduating college, starting a business, doing all those different things. And so I talk about that. Getting a big job promotion, that's an accomplishment. But I do love and adore my family, obviously. And there's times from time to time that they'll be in videos, but at the same time, I don't want them to be acting ridiculous just because they want to in front of the camera because they know a camera's on them. It's just, period. And being their parent, I choose and decide what happens. Now, to the other person that asked this, and there's been people in the past that have asked, one of the big things is that legally, if you really want to be technical, putting a child on video can be a problem for you if you do it a lot. The FTC, Federal Trade Commission, talks about that. Knowing that I've worked for the federal government before, I know that. So if you notice people who do that often, if they haven't been in this country, now I don't know about other places, but in this country, putting your kids constantly on, or kids in general constantly on, can present some issues for you. And so YouTube will basically just, like they'll say something about it because they want to protect children's privacy. They're human beings just like you are, just like I am. And so protecting children is the responsibility really for all of us are responsible for that. But also social media platforms have a huge responsibility in protecting everyone's privacy, everyone's information. That is what they're supposed to do, right? So knowing that, it's silly to just have, in my opinion, to focus and broadcast my kids. That's just silly. You know what I'm saying? That's just silly. Now that doesn't mean that you can't have the occasional thing of the kids in videos and stuff like that. That's fine. It's not saying that on Facebook and other places you can't have pictures of your kids. That's different. But when that is the bulk of what is there, it could be a problem. Keep in mind, kids live a life outside of your home, in school and other places. And you also have to keep in mind, too, that there are some pretty nasty, disgusting people, unfortunately, that live in our society. So I don't want to set my children up for something that they're not asking for. This is something that I'm asking for, kind of. I mean, I just don't care. But it's different when an adult makes a decision to go online and talk about whatever they want to talk about. It's a completely different thing. Also, Noelle doesn't get on here and do a lot of videos either. It's just not really her thing. I mean, every now and again she will. But me, personally, if it's something I find interesting, obviously I'll talk about it, and people watch it, cool. If they don't watch it, I don't care. I mean, it's cool too. I'm just not a person that really focuses on negative, right? I look at it as someone will gain something out of it, or someone find it interesting, or someone will stop through and pass by it and check it. Most of the people who watch videos on my channel, at least, are, I consider us like a little truck stop, right? Or a little gas station, the side of a little road in the desert. You know what I mean? Like, there's a few people, obviously, that live in that little area. So those are our subscribers. But by and large, most of the traffic, I mean, for us to be a small channel, we still get a tremendous amount of views. Right now, we're over 700,000 views, going close to 800,000 views for a channel. Now, there are some people who do that amount of views in, like, every day. Well, I don't know about every day. Maybe every day. But for a channel the size of ours, it's pretty decent, right? Because a lot of the different variety, we're not just focused on one thing. I'm not here to create a fetish. That's just not what I do. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't. I mean, I'm not trying to create something that is just not what it is supposed to be. This is supposed to be about something that, again, our kids can enjoy, but also helpful information for people. And we're good stewards of the community. We have different people from different schools here and in Seattle that watch our channel. So even our girls last year in school watched in class our channel, because they know, the principal in Seattle knew, and a lot of the teachers know. You know, one time the library system here wanted me to teach about social media. But the reason why they trust that is because they know this is not a channel that talks every type of way, that our content's not going to be hopefully controversial. You know what I mean? Like, we want to be productive, good stewards. And that's something that I consciously make sure that I do. And I consciously make sure that I don't sit there and just plaster my kids on to put them on. That's because, I mean, they don't have a say-so. They're not old enough to say yes or no, right? They're not old. I mean, that's the whole point. So given the fact that they're not old enough to say yes or no, and you're forcing them to do that, is not good. And I don't want it to be a situation when they do get older to say, I wish you wouldn't have done that. Or, nah, I didn't want to be a part of that. Now, later on, if they say, you know, I wish you would put me more in some videos, then that's different. Be like, all right, jump on in. But that's when you're much, much older. That's a different thing. The way society is today, with a bunch of bullies and a bunch of everything else, nah. I'd rather protect my kid. I don't mind if people bully me. That's different. I just don't care. But when it took a long time and a lot of gray and a lot of age to get to that point. They're not near that point. Not saying that they necessarily would, but I don't want to create an environment that makes it a lot easier either. So for me, that and many other reasons are the reasons why we don't just put them on social media. There's just not a reason to. You'll see them a little bit more on Facebook and stuff like that in terms of pictures, but as far as just constantly having stuff about the kids, nah. I'm not saying that people who do, that's a problem or what, none of that. I can care less what other people do. But I have to be responsible for me, for mine. Anyhow, I got to get going. I got to go to the doctor. I got doctor's appointments all this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.